Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Persona 5 Royal conversation between two people that have played this game, love Persona 5. My name is Mario Rivera, and today I'm with Allisa James.
Yeah.
Made
Yes,
sure, made sure,
Allisa James.
made sure I got that. And today we want to talk about Persona 5 Royal. It's coming out very soon. We've played it, me and you both, and you reviewed it, of course. And
Yes.
I wanted to have this conversation with you because, as someone who is a huge fan of going back, as far as Persona 4 Golden on the Vita, I did want to reach out to you as someone who is a big fan of the series and, of course, the new reviewer. So, wanted to talk to you about what is your general thoughts on the new addition to the Persona franchise.
So I honestly, as I played it, I really enjoyed all the new additions. It has a lot of, gameplay mechanic balancing. It has, of course, the two new characters, which they're both excellent, Kasumi and Maruki, written incredibly well. They actually blend into the story very well. I was shocked at how well they were incorporated. And it was funny because when I did an interview with the Atlus West head of PR, she was telling me about how they had to re-record a lot of lines with the original characters, VAs, and of course the new VAs. And, you can see the results of that. Everyone just really interacts with them really well. And, other than that, their confidants are great. The mini games are tons of fun. I sunk so much time into the mini games.
Big fan of Tycoon.
I am. It's so much fun. And of course, the darts mini game is a blast. I'm actually shocked that my first try, I managed to win with Yusuke. Yes.
That's awesome. Yeah, some of the content I got to experience. So you got to play this game in a certain way, and I had to play the game very differently, I would say, than most people. I had to play the game on fast forward because
Yeah.
I had to capture some of the moments, and I have played the game before, so I would feel like I wasn't missing much. But whenever I noticed there was definitely something new, I stopped immediately and just made sure I recorded the moment, or took in all the new characters, and then some of the new stuff. When you beat, I believe the first. This, by the way, spoiler, this for a game that's been out for 3 years, but minor spoilers for new stuff, I guess. But just want to say, when you beat the first palace, a whole thing opens up with the Thieves Den, and that blew me away for a second because it was somewhat contingently tied to the story too.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was your experiences with that and unlocking and being able to play the card game, this weird gallery slash music library slash card game area?
I know. Well, first I was shocked too that they actually tied it in an actual in-game reason for it existing. So that was pretty cool. And then when I actually went in, I was pretty shocked by it. It's surprisingly expansive. There's a lot in it to do. It's filled with a lot of nice little Easter eggs, little collectible things. You can collect different statues that represent the characters, or bosses, anything that's super notable.
Yeah, I got the Kim Kamoshida thing in my palace, and it looks disgusting.
Oh yeah, nah, I couldn't do it. I was like, I'm not doing this to myself. I put arson in there. It's he deserves that.
No, for sure.
And then you have the soundtracks that you can collect, and of course in the lobby you can play whatever music you want. And then of course, as we keep mentioning, the biggest draw is the Tycoon card game, which is a lot of fun. At first, when you read the rules, you're like, okay, I don't think I'm gonna get this, and then as soon as you dive in, you just start getting it immediately.
Yeah.
And
is it Uno meets War? Is that what it is?
Kind of like that, but a hint of maybe hearts or spades or something.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting, the rules, and I really like it. And what I like too is that they really immerse you in it because you're playing against your party members. So, you see all their expressions, you get little voice clips, and it's just a blast because you actually feel like you're sitting there playing with these characters, and you're really getting in the moment, it's trailing right now, whatever, and
No, for sure. Yeah, it was really cool to experience that. I mean, I played it on baby mode,
Yeah, that's what I did at first.
Eventually, when I will the need to play it on the harder difficulty, I'll try and attempt more. But
oh yeah,
no, for sure. And then of course you mentioned the two new characters that are added. Both the you referred to her as the mysterious girl very early on in the trailer. How does her character develop throughout the game?
Well, she's really interesting. Just finding out a bit more about her. Of course, when she first appears, you have this person who's an honor roll student. She's an incredibly talented gymnast who's on, a medal, award-winning team and everything. And basically, she just appears to be essentially the perfect student. Very polite, very sweet, very, adorable. And then you start learning more about her. You start learning about how she has a lot of distance from her peers. Like they set up a barrier around her because they see it as her getting favoritism and that she's too perfect, so they don't want to deal with her. So she has that. You have that sense of loneliness, and then and I won't mention why, but like there's little hints of like something that's like that's something that there is something there that's more than meets the eye about her, that you could start telling like, okay, there's something deeper in here. But at the same time, it's really nice to get to know her. Like, she's very goofy. She has a hard time cooking and understanding certain things about how flavors actually work. She she eats a lot. She's just she's just a really fun character, and you get that depth from her, and I really enjoyed that as you go along in the game, like really getting to know her as a person, and they did that incredibly well in the writing.
No, that's really cool. I'm really excited to progress further in the game and to develop that relationship for sure. Just explore as much of new stuff as I can, and also explore old things that I missed out on the first time. It took me a long time that you could play video games in your room.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to explore that specifically. And then of course the other character that got introduced, that's where I'm at in the game right now. When I'm first introduced with him, but I'm very interested in the concept of this psychiatrist character trying to improve the mental health of the students. That being a very big thing, obviously, in the world right now. It's really interesting that they were able to incorporate that in a 3-year-old game and have him, I guess, be fluidly introduced.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, I really love the character of Maruki. I remember when I first saw him introduced in the trailers, and I was just thinking, wow, that's brilliant. Like, actually bringing a psychiatrist into this, because that would make sense. And these kids really do need to talk to someone.
Oh, 100%. These kids are just isolating themselves, doing terrible crimes. Well, for the good of people, but still.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just, and they're just dealing with so much trauma, and it's really good that he came in. And then, like you said, and like as I said, he's very fluidly introduced into the story. His dialogue is hysterical. Like, you find out he's just a total goofball. I mean, he bribes everyone with snacks, and
that's what I noticed. Every conversation ended with, "Do you want some snacks?"
But what I was really shocked with is as I witnessed his therapy sessions with not only the protagonist, but with Ryuji, with An, with Makoto, with the other students, I really loved how they wrote it. Like, that's exactly how real life psychiatry, those kind of sessions go for, like therapy sessions. And, in the sense that he doesn't immediately try to force you into the meat of your issues. He just talks to you. He wants to know how you're doing. He asks if you're okay, how's school, how are you dealing with things, is there anything you wanted to vent with me about? And if he notices something's happening, like with the mood is like, dipping, he'll change the subject, things like that. And the fact that he actually got someone like Ryuji to open up to him, a bit.
That's strong.
It is. And it was just, I was very, very pleasantly surprised at how well he was written. It was very nice. Like, they really handled his character and his whole profession with a lot of respect and sensitivity. And, I think a lot of people will definitely appreciate that as they play the game, and, they learn more about him, and they go further into his confidant.
Okay. No, very much. I guess I'll go to the nitty gritty of the review. You gave the game a 9.0 out of a possible 10. It is obviously a well-crafted game as far back as the vanilla one. So what made this one stay as top tier even 3 years later?
It's funny how well this game holds up. Like, even if you look back at the base game, a lot of the subject matter that it speaks about, it really tackles a lot of hard, like, nasty issues that people don't really want to think about, for obvious reasons. And it does handle it surprisingly well. And it's nice to see it in the point of view of the people who are affected, who are most vulnerable. And I feel like that alone is what makes it such a strong game. And then, of course, building on that is, the style of the game. I mean, the UI is absolutely legendary. It's so well.
It's so good. So good.
And the fact that it inspired so many other developers as well, like, it just shows. Like, I think the Smash director, he was inspired a lot by it too when he was developing Ultimate, I believe he said in an interview, which was really cool. And it looks so good, and it still holds up. And then, of course, Royale, updates all this even more. And then the gameplay is absolutely phenomenal. Like, it really Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
No, I was gonna say you bring that up, the gameplay specifically. I don't know if this was in the original game, but I'm curious. When you did a baton pass, and you did it to all 4 people, was the last attack always a 0 attack? Like, they got a free attack?
Oh, with I believe so. Yes, it's been a little while, but I believe that was in the original game. I know the new feature is that you can rank up the baton pass. So
okay. Oh, so you rank? Yeah. Okay. Because I was wondering, because I was like, I remember the baton pass just being a thing that you can get more moves out of your party, but when they were explaining, like, once you reach like level 4 of the baton pass, you basically get a free attack. Like, it's 0. It costs 0 damage, or 0 health or 0 SP when you do it. So I thought that was new, but if not, it's still awesome. It's still awesome gameplay.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a great feature because it's so hard to get up to level 4.
Yeah.
So so I think it's a nice reward that you get essentially a free attack. And then as I just said, in Royale they actually updated it so you can actually use the mini game, the darts mini game, and you can increase the baton pass ranking up to, I believe, level 3 or so. Ooh. And that increases the damage. It also allows you to recover some health and SP, and that's incredibly handy, especially when you're doing long dungeon crawls, which I did a lot. Like, I would clear a dungeon in like a day or 2. So that's incredibly helpful to do, especially when you know how to stack it properly. So.
I read that in your review, and I was very excited when I was like, oh, I could do that. I'm gonna go play the game right now and get all that done.
Exactly, and see, so the gameplay is excellent. Not only did they streamline the menu incredibly well, so like how if you played like Persona 3 or 4, you have to kind of like cycle through all your options over and over and over, and it really gets annoying after a while. Like, so the fact that they actually make it incredibly quick and easy to get to exactly what you need to do, and they make it look great while you're doing it. So you have like just a wide array of options like right there, and then of course with the baton pass, with the gun, actually bringing back guns, which was awesome because I played Personas 1 and 2 and of course other Shin Megami Tensei games. So seeing gun damage was like, oh my god, this is awesome. Of course the, Demon Negotiations or Persona Negotiations in this case, that was awesome having that mechanic back. Yeah. It is. It's a lot of fun. And I was very excited for that. It plays, incredibly well. And just all these little things that they added. And then already in the base game, it was phenomenal gameplay. And then on top of it, Royale added some really nice balance changes, like the ammo for guns, for instance. It actually reloads at the end of battle instead of at the end of your current dungeon run, so you can use your guns over and over.
I knew that was different. Oh, thank God. Yeah, because I use it all the time now.
Yeah, exactly. And that was
great.
great. Yeah, it was. And then you have the Showtime attacks, which are a lot of fun. They're especially really useful for those really hard bosses, which comes in handy because the one of the new mechanics, of will seeds, which are these cool little collectibles.
Yeah, those are actually interesting.
Yeah, they are, and it's cool because one of them are usually guarded by a super powerful persona, like a powerful shadow.
Yeah.
So the Showtime attacks, sometimes that does come in the nick of time when you're struggling, and then you're like, you know what, I'm just gonna unleash on you.
All right. Well, this has been a good conversation about all the things that we love about Persona, for sure. Can you just go ahead and just tell us where can everyone find your work?
So of course, you can check out my whole log of reviews, previews, editorials, news articles at DualShockers.com. Of course, my name is Allisa James, so if you specifically want mine, you just go to the staff page. You can check that out, but obviously I would suggest you checking out everyone else's works too. It's phenomenal. I also actually do a podcast. I co-host it. It's called Mega 10 Marathon. So if you happen to be a huge Shin Megami Tensei fan like I am, that's a cool thing to give, a listen to as well, definitely.
No, that's great. Are you excited for the new Shin game for Switch, and then of course Scramble for Switch?
Oh, absolutely. In terms of Shin Megami Tensei 5, I'm waiting for this game. I'm so excited.
I just want this game on the Switch. I want a Persona game like this on the Switch.
I know, I agree. But in that note too, Scramble, I am shocked at how phenomenal it looks. Like Koei Tecmo, they've been doing some excellent work in general, like these past years, and this is just they really knocked it out the park. It really feels like an actual sequel to Persona 5, and that's incredible that they got the feel of it. They got like the storytelling down, the characters, even in terms of the gameplay. Like, they succeeded where a lot of the other spin-offs, I think, failed in terms of like the dancing, like Persona 4 dancing all night,
dancing all night, all that. Mm-hmm.
All those cutscenes, and then of course the arena games. Like, in terms of how all those cutscenes was just too much of it. It wasn't really any interactivity.
You learn really quick the balance between like Persona 4 and Persona 5 is when they mix it with other gameplay. But when it's just straight watching people talking heads, it just gets tedious.
Exactly.
You're just waiting for the music.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Scramble does a great job in avoiding that trap. It really does a great job at actually doing proper storytelling. So.
Okay, yeah, well, I'm definitely excited for that. You can find me doing the videos here on the YouTube channel under youtube.com/DualShockers, and at Twitter, actually, at that Mario Rivera. Again, this has just been a conversation about Persona 5 Royal. Thank you so much. If you want to check out all our videos, there'll be, I think I'm posting a video a day for Persona 5, so yeah, stay tuned. Thank you, and you'll never see it coming.